Werner Heisenberg, a believer, philosopher, and foremost the pioneer scientist of the golden era of physics, of who had set the foundation stones of which quantum physics was built upon. By the famous discovery of it has widened knowledge of humankind about the cosmos to the smallest little things called quantum physics. Ever since then, a brand new page of physics history was opened. And what is so special about this Heisenberg? We're soon to find out. It's story time. Werner Heisenberg, born Werner Karl Heisenberg. He was born on December 5th, 1901 in the city of Würzburg, Germany, the son of Annie and August Heisenberg, who the father is a scholar in ancient Greek philosophy and modern Greek literature, while the mother is the daughter of the rector of the Maximilian Gymnasium, a very famous school of which many great scientists has enrolled years before. Having to be born in such academic environment, Heisenberg has the perfect environment to become one of the greatest scientists that humankind has never got to know of. So his ability was soon to be recognized by the time he got enrolled into the school. But before that, the boy has picked up music. He played piano so good that by the age of 13, he was able to perform complex compositions by great composers in the world. By the time where Heisenberg was enrolled into the Maximilian Gymnasium, his family and teacher were amazed by the precious ability of him in mathematics, especially when he taught himself calculus. Aside from that, he loved being with nature. As a regular hiker as he was, many times that people caught him as an image of a boy reading Plato's Timaeus while hiking on the Bavarian Alps. Although Werner was knowledgeable and being a child prodigy in music, but he didn't appear to be so. In fact, he's very humble and he showed no sign of arrogance. And by the year of 1920, which Heisenberg has graduated from the gymnasium, he continued to pursue his further education at the University of Munich, where his father is the lecturer of philosophy and Greek literature. He became the student of Arnold Sommerfeld, who was an expert in atomic spectroscopy, the concept which deals very much with the wide understanding of quantum physics. Hence, oriented Werner to invest his interest in such school of physics. So, at Göttingen, by the direction of his professor, Werner had the chance of participating in one of the lectures of Niels Bohr, which had an enormous effect on his career afterwards. The talent of Heisenberg was soon to be recognized by other teachers. So, while officially he was the student of Sommerfeld, Max Born has already accepted him as his personal assistant and student, following by the sponsorship of two great professors of his. He has received his PhD 3 years later, by the year of 1923. And after his graduation, Heisenberg started to focus more on quantum physics. So, matrix mechanics is the first ever achievement of his. So, in 1925, Werner Heisenberg developed matrix mechanics, though he did not even know what a matrix was. As Max Born has pointed out, Heisenberg aimed at constructing a quantum mechanical formalism corresponding as closely as possible to that of classic mechanics. Thus, he considered the classical equation of motion together with the matrix mechanics of Heisenberg and the wave equation of Schrödinger. Together with the addition they combine, they create the foundation stones of quantum field theory, which is popularized by Paul Dirac's discovery on it. So, what is this quantum field theory? It is a combination of quantum theory, theory of relativity, and classical physics. Together, they create a brand new definition of quantum. And for such finding, Albert Einstein has nominated Heisenberg the Nobel Prize, of which he was awarded in 1932. As time flows and what comes will come, the Second World War happened. So, our scientist Heisenberg is now on the side of the Nazi. He is the leader of a group of German scientists who were trying but failed to develop a nuclear bomb. But unfortunately, the US side has successfully developed their first ever nuclear bomb before the German did it. And they drop it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. To the perspective of Heisenberg, he's on the Nazi side. He actually feels good about it because such powerful weapon, if in the wrong person to use it. And after the war, Heisenberg has become the leader of Max Planck Society. And as he grows older, he begins to develop more interest into philosophy and religion. His two books, Physics and Philosophy, published in 1958, and the second one is Philosophy Problems of Quantum Mechanics, published in the late 60s. Those two books were the last two achievements that this knowledgeable person has left for humankind. And following by is his death in February the 1st, 1976 in Munich. The law of uncertainty of Heisenberg. It has met so many things to deal with Schrödinger's equation. For example, in the subatomic world is where this region right here is where you most likely to find the electrons. They could be here or here or here at any time possible, but not here nor here. And one more abstracted that no measurement of distance and time works in the subatomic world. How can such thing be proven to be true? That is another universe that we're talking about. And the laws of physics that we use in this universe cannot be applied to the same thing there. And that's where weird things happen. Werner Heisenberg was one of the greatest men alive. He got the Nobel Prize at 1932, nominated by Albert Einstein. He's one of the greatest who has set the pillars of quantum physics. He kicked ass, many asses, including Schrödinger asses. Heisenberg, winner of 1932. to Nobel Prize. I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Welcome to Canada. Great. Well, today I'm gonna talk about William Francis Giauque, an American-born Canadian chemist. He stands among the greatest in chemistry for his invaluable contribution to it. By inventing a way to reach the absolute zero, which is 1 Kelvin degree, he had opened an opportunity for further research theoretically and practically. Ever since the invention of his, stronger steel was made, more efficient fuels was generated. What's so special about his? We're soon to find out. William Giauque, he was born in May 12, 1895 in Niagara Falls, Ontario, the ever first sons of William T.S. Giauque and Isabella J. Duncan. He had a relatively nomad childhood, ever since his family constantly moving from Canada to the US back and forth. But by 1908, by the death of his father, unfortunately, in the following years, his family has returned to Niagara Falls, where he continued to pursue his secondary education, and following then is the college education at the Niagara Falls Collegiate Institute years later. After his graduation, the man constantly trying to save up to pursue further education in order to become an electrical engineer. So he went on looking for jobs in power plants all across Niagara Falls, but ended up unemployed. So he decided to check other opportunities in the United States. And upon looking for other opportunities on a local article, finally Giauque got employed into Hooker Electrochemical Company. As being employed in the lab, William has developed his interest in becoming a chemical engineer, primarily perhaps having to deal with chemistry-related problems and finding solutions over the course of his time being employed, together with the professionally organized laboratory environment. Another path of future was open for this prospective person. And upon 2 years of working, Giauque has finally entered into the University of California, where he's pursued study in chemistry. It took him 2 years, which is a relatively fast time, to get his bachelor in science, and another 2 years to get his PhD. Very impressive. After his graduation, he decided to stay and work at this university where he went to, focusing more on something theoretical. Why is this the case? Perhaps he has developed an interest in theoretical research, even though his degree was meant for something more practical, engineering. But this path that he has taken would later on get him the most achievement that he could ever imagine. Upon discovering such method, he had received many awards, including the most noble one as the Nobel Prize. As a positive result, in 1949, William Francis Giauque was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for his great contribution to humankind. And upon that, I thank you. But absolute zero is unnecessary for me, because in this weather, it inside, I hate cold. I hate cold so much. But thank you for for your contribution. Finally, it ended.